Gain, 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
On 2nd down, Michel, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Wait, that 380!
Shotgun now for Brady. On the left side, a catch by White. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Oh, here we go.
They'll run it here. This is James White looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. Brady to Gordon, out left. He will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll turn to Michel as they go back to the ground. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Brady gives to Michel. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down.
He's not going to get me. Jacket, reload. 450.
From the gun, it's Brady. Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. The sack there by J.J. Watt. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
Yeah, from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
19! 52 right here. 52. Hey, watch your leg. Hey, 31.
From the end zone, Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a 1st down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. So a little more space to work with here from the 13 on 1st and 10.
Hey, we got a snapper.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Flushed out right. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. The end result, 21 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Miller, and he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 9 good yards here on the run, and now 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And that is incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And the Pats will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, 2nd quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. On play action, now Brady. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Check 43. Watch the twitch. Watch the twitch. You draw forfeit. Alpha. Bravo.
Snap comes at 1, and it's Brady. And he fires one that's intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Set, 19. I've got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. All day, just like that. Just like that.
After the interception, here's Watson. And this is going to be intercepted. Devin McCourty picks it off. Through an opening, and there he goes. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Focus, defense, focus.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. Jason McCourty, a safety blitz and a sack. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
After the sack on first down, Watson under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long. It's Watson staying on his feet. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and it's picked up by the Patriots. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and a Patriot touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for him.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Extra point try for Gostkowski. And he atones for his miss the first time around, as this one is up and good to extend their lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, and suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again is Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. On 1st and 10, Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. The sack by Michael Bennett, the native of tiny Independence, Louisiana.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Ready?
A shotgun snap for Watson. Over the middle, complete. It's Hopkins. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. From the red zone now, Watson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And it's 2nd down. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. The kick by Fairbairn is good. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Set. You ain't team. March by 4. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. 29. Watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike. Time to go.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Check 26. Hatchet. Greystone, travel.
They'll try to get this offense going with Michelle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. On the ground, this is Michelle. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. They come out here in the eye. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1.
Go, 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 go. I got him, on me.
And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. And that's going to leave them with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. And Brady will sneak it. Try to wedge his way in there. No signal. I don't think he got there. He did it. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And this Texans defense comes up with a goal line stand. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Lightning speed there from the safety, Devin McCourty, on the sack.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. He's got Fuller. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
To throw is Watson. Throwing on 3rd and long. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
We play to win. Let's go.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Wait, set, 53.
Check 41.
Hey, tighten down. 53, stand down.
Brady now on 1st down. He completes it right side to White. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Here we go.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Wait, set, run 80.
On second down, it's White. Muscles him off. Deshaun Gibson there on the tackle. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Play action. Now it's Brady. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
Watson now to throw. And off his back foot, he'll heave this one deep. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Kyle Van Noy in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Devin McCourty picks it off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They'll run it. This is Michelle. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Again, it's Michelle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Not at all what they envisioned on third down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on fourth down. The Pats do snap it. It's Brady. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. J.J. Watt and the Texans take over an excellent field position. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's complete to Fuller. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
There goes a deep ball, end zone. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. That's complete right around the 80. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Here's Watson. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Wait, 20. Let's go, baby. Turn over. Get that ball. Get 20.
They'll run with Michelle. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now Brady. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
And the blitz does come. We'll get this one out to Rex Burkhead. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Check 3, check 3.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. And that makes him now 0 for 3 on 4th down attempts.
A lot of people would say they're showing a lot of guts going for it this many times on 4th down. I think they'd have to start thinking with their head a little bit more than with their gut and their emotions because it's not working for them. They've got to figure out what's been going wrong.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Dante Hightower coming in for the sack from his linebacker spot. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Forced out to it, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Now in desperation. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
And that one? Oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
Very good starting position for the Patriot offense as they come up 1st and 10. A running play on 1st down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Jonathan Joseph there for the tackle.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Wait, set. 380.
So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately,